I normally start up my videos off super like exciting and engaging, but I know if you're here because you've been laid off, you're probably not having the best day or the best week or the best month wherever you are. But I want you to know that I'm going to share some tips with you that's really going to help you in your job search, and just know that I'm really, really so sorry for what's happened to you. But there is hope. Don't give up hope. You can still transition into a career path that you love, or a new career that you love, if you left the one that you were unfortunately laid off from. And if you're here because you are worried that you might be laid off, hang around. I'm going to share some tips to help you to prepare in your job search if you think you're about to be laid off, so that you can find success as well. So let's get into the video. My name is Mercedes Swan. I am a certified HR professional and HR manager, as well as a career coach. And so I get on this app on YouTube to really help individuals like yourself find success in their careers. And I know that right now there's a lot of talk, and depending on when you're watching this video, there's a lot of talk about inflation, recession, mass layoffs. So I thought right now would be a really good time to make this type of video. Layoffs and furloughs and things like that can happen at any point in your career, not just necessarily when we think there's a downturn or recession. So I'm hoping that this video will be really helpful. And in this video, I'm going to share 4 really helpful broad tips that can help anyone, especially you, if you've been laid off and you really need to make sure that you're able to start your job search, so that you can land on your feet now that you've been laid off. And also, if you are somebody who thinks or suspecting that there may be layoffs in your company, or maybe you've even been given kind of an advance warning or notice that you will be laid off, I've given you some tips going into that can help you as well, but you'll have to wait until the end to do that. Before I start, I just want you to know, if you take nothing else from this video, I want you to know that just because you have been laid off, it does not necessarily mean that you need to settle in your career just to get back on your feet. You can still move into a job that fulfills you, that you love. And so I want you to keep that in mind as you take on these tips and use them to help you in your job search, okay? So number 1, I am going to pull out a little bit of HR on you. But what I want you to do is really make sure that you are clear on any terms or conditions of your layoff, especially if you've received some type of package with your layoff. So sometimes, depending on what type of layoff, you may be given a package for that. And I want you to really make sure that you understand the terms and conditions of that contract. Please be so sure to find out, if there's a particular period that you have to wait, if you're going to receive this severance package to be able to work. If you have the risk of that severance package needing to be repaid, if you do find work within that period of time. So just be really careful to make sure you read the terms and conditions. I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm just saying, if you're worried about it, really just make sure that you understand if there's any constraints on your ability to work, if there's any constraints on the benefits that you may receive or any pay that you may receive, okay? That, or any other resources, okay? And secondarily to that, you may have services that are provided to you from your employer if they provide that. So they may give you coaching or resume advice, or they may help you network or pay for certain resources for you during a layoff. So please make sure that you may be upset, you may be hurt, you may be pissed off, you may be angry, whatever that is. Make sure you do not leave those resources on the table at your employer if they're giving them to you because you're upset or out of spite or because you're angry, okay? Take those because you may regret it later, and it may be something that really helps you even though you're mad, okay? So that's step 1. Make sure you're aware of the terms and conditions of any type of severance package that you may have been given upon your layoff or separation, okay? Okay, so number 2 is put yourself out there. I want you to be loud. I want you to be bold. The loudest thing that you can do at any time in your career when you're job seeking, this is the one time. You're laid off, so you don't have to hide your applications. You don't have to hide your resume. You don't have to hide your LinkedIn account. you can be loud and get the message out there that you are truly open to work and immediate work. So I want you to take that as an opportunity to just go for it full force. So one of the things that I have seen that is working really great for people who have been laid off is that you send like messages to your entire network. Like, doesn't matter if you worked with them yesterday, 5 years ago, you met them at a networking event, like reach out and just let them know like, hey, unfortunately I was laid off. I'm really looking for opportunities. Here's my resume. If there's any opportunities that you know of, please send them my way, or feel free to share your resume. Just due to the situation, I would really appreciate any type of help. That's like the one time that I'm going to tell you to go ahead and just like reach out to people, even though you haven't built necessarily connections with them or a relationship with them, because people are really sympathetic to people who have been laid off, because most of the time they understand it's due to no fault of their own. So be loud, be proud. I mean, I know it's stressful, but be proud and loud about your skill set and sharing the wins that you have and what you do, okay? So please do. Also, even if you have current colleagues at the company that you've been laid off at, see if they have connections for you. Your boss that might still be there, colleagues that may still be there. See if they're willing to help share your resume, or share positions or colleagues that they may know of from previous work or whatnot to help you land on your feet. One of the things I'm really loving is seeing people use social media to help themselves get out there. So I have seen a ton of viral posts on LinkedIn saying, hey, I'm open to work. Unfortunately, I was laid off. You may have seen that was laid off, are these groups from this company, and attach your resume. Say that you're open to work. Say that you're really welcome for recruiters diving into your DMs, whatever. Like, I don't care. Like, make it loud. It is not an embarrassing thing to be laid off. That's what I want to tell you right now. And people usually understand that layoffs are usually due to no fault of your own. So take that and like run with it, please. Same thing with recruiters. There are a ton of I'm a recruiter. I'm on TikTok. I don't recruit on TikTok, so don't do that. But there are tons of recruiters on TikTok talking about jobs, talking about opportunities, trying to sell their opportunities. So make your video, make your pitch on TikTok. I've seen people get jobs on TikTok this way, okay? And then one of the last things, if you are a college graduate and you have a great network, or maybe you're in a sorority, fraternity, whatever that is, that network of people that you may have gained and be able to use as connections, as networks and from college, also do that. So you could, again, alumni network, or you could also see if your career center also has resources. Sometimes they provide those services to past graduates. So check it out, okay? Okay, so tip number 3 is I want you to remain focused. So I'm not telling you that this is easy, and I'm not telling you that you should be stressed or not upset. What I'm telling you is that even though you are going through this, do not lose focus on your career goals and your dreams. I will tell you this 100%. It's going to be faster for you to transition in your job search if you stay focused in one area, and it's going to be even faster if you focus on the area where you already have skills. I have tons of jobs. Sorry, I have tons of videos out there about how to transition into different career paths or whatnot. And if there's something that you're interested in, like, reach out to me. I'm happy to help and share about how different services that I have can be helpful as well. But what I want you to do is to not lose focus on where you're going in your career, because I feel like when people get laid off, they start to apply to all different types of jobs, maybe not even jobs that they really have an interest or a passion in, that they've tailored their materials for. It's really like, I just need whatever job that is available right now. And while I'm not saying that you can't pursue those different types of jobs, what I'm telling you is that lack of focus and just applying to all different types of jobs, it is going to harm you more than it hurts you, because then you can't tailor your skills. You really don't look like your skill set is aligned to the job. And it's not that you can't repackage your skills for a different job. that's absolutely okay. It's just that just being out here for everyone and having a skill set that's not correctly branded to the position is going to slow down your job search. So if you've been laid off, it's immediate need. So again, focusing on one specific type of career or field, and ideally one that you came from, is going to help this process go faster. But even if you are looking outside of your field, please be focused on one career path, one type of job, and that's going to help you brand move forward faster and get the job faster. Okay? Please, I will fight you. Okay, number 4 is some people, they are worried about disclosing whether or not they've been laid off. And they may say, like, I've heard people like, well, I don't really know how to address this. It's like, no, just be truthful and tell them that you've been laid off. Sometimes people use laid off for other words for termination, but I promise you, saying that you were fired or that there was a separation of employment and being cagey about it is going to honestly it's going to be a red flag for recruiters or hiring managers. But if you can really tell the story that, you were laid off due to this, blah, 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 in the company, there were redundancies, or there was, that there were cutbacks because of, the company's performance or something like that, that really isn't related to anything with your work history or your performance. Now, I'm not saying that to go into this long sob story about how they laid you off and how they did you wrong and they're just terrible and how could they do No, I've seen some of y'all in interviews. Do not do that, okay? I want you to just really state what happened, share the reason why. It should be related to the company and not yourself. And if there's anything that you can do to really reference and make that a fact, right? So if your company has been like in the news for layoffs or something like that, say, yes, you may have, seen in the news, blah, blah, blah. My company did layoffs, so I was unfortunately one of the individuals impacted. They just were not able to sustain the growth, and so therefore they had to manage a layoff, and I was unfortunately one of the positions that was redundant in this layoff, and so therefore I was laid off, okay? So I want you to just share that, verify, disclose those things, use verifiable evidence, but do not be pushy, okay, about explaining things or telling them why or overcompensating for the fact that you've been laid off, because that's going to be a red flag. So just go into it very openly, transparent, and using any facts that you can. Okay, I'm rambling now, but you can get this right, I promise. Okay, hey fam that has not yet been laid off, but you're worried about being laid off. I can be a little bit more cheerful now because there's hope and there's time. I'm sorry. Okay, so here are my 4. I shared 4 tips for people that were already laid off, and now I'm going to share 4 tips with you if you think you're going to be laid off, but you haven't. So here's my first tip. I want you to be mindful. If you think that you may be laid off, it's just as likely, right? Employers are not going to really give you far enough advance warning than what they're legally required to. So you may want to be looking at your company's financials if those are publicly available. You might want to be looking at what's going on in your industry. Are similar companies cutting back due to industry-related reasons versus company-specific reasons, right? Because could be indicative of the field or the industry that you're in. So I just want you to be mindful of seeing, what's going on and really using that to say, okay, I really need to spend more time in my job search versus that, or I can be a little bit more leisurely. So please just be mindful of what's going on or any trends. Number 2, if you are considering, maybe your company has let you know that you will in fact be somebody that is laid off and they're offering you a package of some sort during this layoff, something to kind of help with a transition period or whatever else, I want you to, again, as I mentioned for the people who may have already been laid off, to again make sure that you are aware of the terms. And if you have any opportunity where you can be paid and not have to work through that layoff period, please take it. You do not owe this company or this organization anything. It is more important that you take that and that you spend that you take that time or that compensation away from your employer so that you can spend time on your job search, networking, skill building, getting clarity, whatever that is that you need to do, working on your resume, your interview skills. I don't care. Binge watching this channel. I don't care. Make sure that if you have the opportunity to do that, you do. And I also, even if you are laid off, I encourage you, unless you have another opportunity, do not resign. It is much better in a job search for you to have been laid off than to have resigned. And again, it gives you more opportunity to look for another opportunity, get that severance package if they have anything that they're doing as it relates to that, that will enable you to transition in a little bit better footing, at least probably financially, right? So really take the time, even if you're mad, you're upset, you feel betrayed, take that and really use that to your advantage, and don't just leave. And don't be, I know some of y'all out there be like, why would I leave that? Trust me, I have talked to some people, some of you, okay? Don't do that. Okay, so if you are laid off, like you do not want to be caught unawares, okay? Like, so even if you really aren't sure whether you've been laid off or not, or you will be laid off, I want you to start to prepare. I want you to get your resume in order. I want you to get your references in order. I want you to start doing interview prep. I want you to start reaching back out to people in your network. I want you to start exploring jobs. I want you to start building any skills that you need to in order to transition into another field or industry or the next level, whatever that is. I want you to make sure that if your company, your manager, whoever, leadership comes to you and says, hey, we'll be laying you off in 30 days, or this will be your last day, whatever, that you are not completely left unaware. So there are a lot of tools below in my free resources about resume, career planning, networking, like planning your career. Like, there's so many below and they're all free. So if that's something that's going to help you become prepared and move forward, like, please use those. Okay, number 4, if you haven't been laid off, here's a tip. If you haven't started to do this already, I want you to start taking on things that give you job security. That's if you really want to stay at this company, or you know that it would be really hard for you to transition into another career path. And what do I mean by that? You do not want to become redundant. So you don't want to be in a type of position that somebody else can do your job exactly. And that if you left today, they wouldn't care. I mean, I know how some employers are out there. They might not care either way. They'd be like, oh, well, I don't care if we don't know how to do this system. But basically, you can really make yourself not layoffable, right? By being the only one who knows that information, by being the only one who knows how to access this software, how to train others, how to do specific tasks. You're the only person that does this in the company. And I'm not saying for you, I hate it when people are territorial or want to destroy things on the way out. Like, I'm an HR professional, so I'm not going to tell you to do that, and I don't want you to do that, but I'm saying whatever skills that you can take on, or whatever things that you can learn, or what you can do to make yourself really invaluable in this process will make it a lot harder for you to be laid off. And if you do see the layoffs, and you happen to not be the one of them that gets laid off, but you have that skill set, right, that gives you time to be able to transition into a career that you want and a place that you want to be, without being worried about the layoffs. So, right, maybe like job security, figure out what's going to happen, right? Like, I know, like, I'm in some positions, like, if I quit, y'all, I don't know what's happening to y'all HR department. Like, it's just going, okay? So that's what I'm saying. Do that. You're going to be a when you leave, okay? Bye. Okay, so we're getting close to the end of the video. I just wanted to say again that if you are a person that is laid off or worried about being laid off, or you think that, or you've already been given notice, I really just want to say, like, I am so sorry. My heart really goes out to you, and I'm really hoping that your transition is fast, and that's why I'm creating these videos, and I hope that all of the other content online that I create can be helpful to you. If you are a person that has already been laid off, I would really love if you just let me know in the comments, like, what field or industry you're in. I think not only is it helpful to know kind of where these things are happening, because people are are transitioning into these fields or career paths, I think it's helpful to help others make great decisions as they're moving forward. So I think anything that you post down below would be so helpful. So please let me know what industry you're from and where you've been laid off. If you feel comfortable, if you don't, that's okay. But again, milk it, okay? Be bold. So again, I promise I'm wrapping up, but if you have been laid off, I know that your job search can be like one of the most stressful things to navigate, because now not only are you trying to land a job, one that you love or that you're passionate about and that you want to do, but you also have kind of that ticking time clock to say, okay, you know what, I do have a period of time, until the severance is over or till my actual last day. Or if you weren't given any of those protections by your employer, how do I make this work for this period of time until I can really land on my feet? And so for all of you out there, I hope that these things are helpful for you. If you want to work with me, and I offer job search services, I offer career coaching, and I also offer a really low cost academy. It's called the Black Professionals Academy. So if you've been laid off in any type of event and you think that these services would be really helpful for you and you want to do that, just send me a message. I would really be happy to share a coupon or a discount code to you to reduce the cost of those services if that's going to help you. And like I said, some of these services are really low cost, so just reach out to me. And like I said, I'm so sorry. Okay, so again, what I really, really wanted to say is that you can really use your layoff or the period of time that you have for advance notice for being laid off to really get clear about where you want to go, to redefine your brand, to say, you know what, I'm going to move in this direction, right? Whether that's up, across different industries. I want you to not necessarily look at this as the worst thing. And I'm not saying that anybody wants to be in a place of stability. Like, I wouldn't wish that on anybody, and I wouldn't wish layoff or furlough or anything like that on anybody. But I'm hoping that you can still use this moment to say, you know what, I'm still gonna do right by me and my career and my life goals and my dreams and where I want to be. So I'm just really encouraging you that being furloughed or laid off or just straight up terminated is not the end for you. Your career still has so much, and so I can't wait to see what you do with this period of time and where you go. And I'm like wishing you all so much of the best, all of the love, all of the motivation, and all of the inspiration. So if there's anything that I can answer for you below that helps to clarify anything in this video or help you out, like, please let me know, because it's a lot. Okay, so as always, I'm wishing you so much success and passion in your job search. So I will see you in the next video. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe and tap the bell so that you can get notified. And if you found this video helpful, or you are working with others who are laid off, I'm sorry, please share this with them so that they can get the same tips and really help them be successful, especially if they're black. Be black, okay? Because that's what I'm here for. Okay, bye, y'all. See y'all next video.